Yes, good morning, students. In continuation of our Java programming, today is our day 6. In day 6, we will understand lots of fundamental like type of Java application, Java platform, and their additions, difference between JDK, JRE, and JVM. Also, we will understand more the architecture of JVM. Lastly, we will familiar with Java keywords. So, one by one, we will understand lots of Java fundamental. So, very first, we will discuss the type of Java applications. So, here we can easily find there are mainly four types of applications that can be created using Java application. So first is standard application, second is web application, third is enterprise application and fourth is mobile application. आप easily कोई भी application को Java में डेवलप कर सकते हैं. तो सबसे पहले हम समझेंगे हर एक एप्लीकेशन का थ्योरी, उसके कंसेप्ट क्या है, एक्चुअली वो किस लिए बना हुआ है. नाउ वेरी फर्स्ट वी विल अंडरस्टैंड स्टैंडर्ड एप्लीकेशन. तो व्हाट इज मीन बाय एंड व्हाट इज सेंस ऑफ दिस स्टैंडर्ड एप्लीकेशन. तो स्टैंडर्ड एप्लीकेशन आर नथिंग बट this is actually for desktop application और विंडो बेस्ड एप्लीकेशन. तो इसके द्वारा अगर आप डेस्कटॉप एप्लीकेशन या विंडो एप्लीकेशन बनाना चाहते हैं तो उसकी कैटेगरी आएगी स्टैंड अलोन एप्लीकेशन. बेसिकली दिस आर ट्रेडिशनल सॉफ्टवेयर. व्हाई? बिकॉज that we need to install on every machine. So it is come under the term traditional software. So for example, we can easily understand by these two example like a media player or antivirus. So whenever we want to use, we have to install it. Basically, in standalone application, there are the two important tools that are the AWT, the Abstract Window Toolkit, and the Swing are used in this Java for creating these standalone applications. तो यहाँ पे हमें ये समझ में आ रहा है कि क्यों हम स्टैंड अलोन एप्लीकेशन बनाते हैं और इसमें कौन कौन से टूल्स हमको यूज करना है. तो फर्स्ट इज AWT, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट विंडो टूलकिट एंड द स्विंग को वी कैन इजीली यूज टू मेक ए स्टैंड अलोन एप्लीकेशंस. नाउ वी विल अंडरस्टैंड the next application, that is the web application. So it is a very popular application. We are lots of things we are using in this concept of this web application. So very first, an application that run on server side and create a dynamic page, it is called as a web application. ठीक है. So whenever we are thinking, we have to understand the server side and this is the your dynamic concept. Okay. So currently there are the technology that we are using for creating these web applications are servlet, JSP, struts, Spring, Hibernate, JSF. Like this technology are actually used for creating this web application in Java. Now one by one I am also want to to give a one brief like a servlet technology. What is meant by servlet technology? Servlet technology is used to create a web application that is resided server side and generate a dynamic website. So servlet technology are very much useful in the web application. JSP क्या होता है? देखिए, JSP is another kind of technology, and it provides a more functionality than the servlet such as JSTL. जब भी हम जावा सर्वर पेज स्टैंडर्ड टैग लाइब्रेरी की बात करते हैं तो it will be your JSP technology. Now stress. The stress is nothing but is the open source framework, and this is a very powerful that extend the Java Servlet API, and it employs a MVC architecture, model view controller architecture, and it always enables us to create a maintainable, extensible, and the flexible web application that is based on standard technology such as JSP, pages, Java Beans, and the resources bundle, and this will be the XML. Lastly, we have another kind of technology that is known as a Spring. This is the Spring is a lightweight framework. Why we are calling lightweight? It actually can thought as a framework of this framework of the frameworks. This is your framework of framework. Why? Because it provides the lot of support to the various framework. Okay, so this is the very useful for the in our web technology. And for example, the stress hibernate, this will be the tapestry and EJB and the JSF. This all technology actually supported through this Spring framework. तो व्हाट इज द सेंस ऑफ फ्रेमवर्क? फ्रेमवर्क किसको कहेंगे? फ्रेमवर्क का मतलब क्या होता है? देखिए, फ्रेमवर्क इन द बॉर्डर सेंस वी कैन से कि इट कैन बी डिफाइंड एज ए स्ट्रक्चर. ये एक स्ट्रक्चर बना के हमको देता है वेयर वी कैन फाइंड द सॉल्यूशन ऑफ द वेरियस टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम. So it is a good, this is a one our framework that we required so that we can do our solution for our problems. Now after this standalone application and the web application, now we will forward toward the your enterprise application. So whenever we have a thought of enterprise like a banking application, so in that time we have to think about the enterprises application. So this is the advantage like a high level security, the load balancing and the clustering. So this all facility are available in the enterprise application. Here we will use the Jakarta Enterprises Beans. This will be the actually used to create this enterprise applications. So it is a very fruitful in our technology. Now lastly and the least is the mobile application. So we will understand this all last one, that is the mobile application. Now in the mobile application, it is the basically create application that will be run for a mobile device. Is the called as a mobile application. Clear? So here we have a word mobile devices. So currently Android and the Java ME, Java ME, one important word with the Java is there, like SE, ME, like this word are there. I will explain in the next slide. So this type of actually we are already using for the mobile application. Okay. Now come to the your what we can say that very first the platforms. Now here we have this word all this in the abbreviation concept. The very first we have a SE. SE means you have a standard editions. EE means Enterprise Edition. Now likewise ME Micro Edition, and Java FX is your Java form experience. So likewise, these all editions and the platform are available in the Java, so that you can choose anyone or you learn many things so that you will become the full stack Java developer. Now we will understand this all. So what is the sense of this Java standard edition? What is the sense of this Java standard edition? In this Java standard edition, it is a basically your Java platform, programming platform. And in this standard edition, we have to use the API like a Java, like a language that will be the your input output, the networking, then utility, then SQL, then mathematics. This all type of concept are actually available in the standard edition. Also we have a your oops, we can develop a object oriented programming here. We can manipulate string. Also we have a regular expression, exception handling. Whenever the runtime problems are there, you can think through the exceptions. Then we also have a inner class methodology, then multi-threading, input output system, also the networking, AW abstract, the technology, then swing, then reflection, then collection. This all are actually included in this standard edition. Now come to the next, that will be the your enterprises edition. In the enterprises edition, basically develop the web and the enterprises application, and this actually built on the top of Java standard. And likewise, we can think to make our program. Now we have a Java ME, that is the Java micro edition. In this micro edition, we have to make a platform for the dedicated to mobile application. And lastly, you have a form experience. By this form experience, you can make a your client for application platform, for the desktop, for the mobile, for the embedded system. Like that, you can make a all program through this Java FX, and it developed the rich internet application, and it actually using the lightweight user interface API. Now we have to understand the difference between the popular word of Java. One is known as a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. The second important term, JRE, that is the Java Runtime Environment. And lastly, it is a very much popular, that is the JDK, so Java Development Kit. So one by one we will understand. One is the Java Virtual Machine, Java Runtime Environment, Java Development Kit. Now let understand one by one. Now Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine, basically it is an abstract machine. Okay, it is actually called as a virtual machine because it does not physically exist. That's why it is known as a Java virtual machine. Now basically, whenever we are thinking about the Java virtual machine, the three important terms: one is the specification, second is the implementation, and third is the instance. These three were very much linked with this JVM. So one by one we will understand this all. Okay. So let start with the first word specification, because we are running Java as a platform independent. So there this three word actually does the your platform independent thought. कैसे करता है देखिए. So let the specification. The specification means where working of Java virtual machine is specified. ठीक है, हम लोग जहां पर भी इसको रन करेंगे वहां के लिए स्पेसिफिकेशन इज कंपलसरी, बिकॉज वी वांट टू इम्प्लीमेंट the our program. So implementation basically provider is independent to the choose of the algorithm, and its implementation has been provided by the Oracle and the other companies. Now implementation means implementation, it is known as a JRE, Java Runtime Environment, so that nothing will be the puzzle, nothing will be the complex, and everything in the synchronize or everything in the sequentially, so that we can get a run, we can get a output task from this our program. Also we have to understand the runtime instance. So whenever we will write a Java command on the command prompt to run the our Java class, so we will get an instance of this JVM that will be created. So what we can run the many more that JVM in our machine, because every that program is treated as an instance of that. Okay, so that will be like a your multi applications are there. Now try to understand the JVM. JVM basically perform the following important operation like a load code, like a verify code, like a execute code, and also provide a runtime environment. This is the three responsibility of the JVM. Also in the JVM, we have to think the definition like a memory area, class file format, register set, and garbage collected heap, and fatal error reporting. So these are the very much touch to the your JVM. Without this, it is not possible कि you can run the JVM. So to the JVM, we have to understand this all operation and this all definition. इन दोनों को समझना हमारे लिए compulsory है. तो चलिए अब हम एक एक चीजें अच्छे से समझते हैं कि what is the sense of this type of the your terminology like a loads code, verify code, execute code. So the sense is like that. Let we have, this is the complete architecture in which we can easily understand how this Java runtime environment is we are getting in the computer. देखिए, तो very first we will get a class. तो class loader load the our class, and this class loader so class loader load the our class and understand this all term regarding the your memory access. So we also understand this class area, then heap area, the stack side, then PC register, and the native method stacks. So these five important terms come under the your memory area allocation, and then this will be call for the execution engine for the your running this program. Then we have the native method interface. The native method interface actually try to run your program toward the native using native libraries. So using this Java native libraries, you can easily run your program. Now we will understand brief this all terminology, है ना, एक एक करके हम समझ लेते हैं. तो very first we have a class loader. So what is the sense of class loader? class loader is a subsystem of our JVM and it is used to load क्लास फाइल। तो जो भी हमारी क्लास फाइल बनती है जावा कंपाइलर से उसको हम यहाँ पर लोड करेंगे और जब भी इसको जावा प्रोग्राम रन करेगा तो इट इज लोडेड फर्स्ट बाय द क्लास लोडर। तो जब जावा को इसमें रन करेंगे तो वी विल गेट ए दिस क्लास लोडर। तो क्लास लोडर बेसिकली लोड द क्लास फाइल। Now we have a class area, that is class method. In this area, basically this is stored per classes structure, means such as runtime constant pool, then field and method data and the code for this method. This is for your per class structure. So in this way, this is the actually doing the work. Now a heap is nothing but it is a runtime data area in which object basically are allocated so that we can get a fast access and we will get a fast execution. Now we have a other terms in our Java runtime environment. So we have a word stack. As you know, there is some technique to run your program in the first come first out basis. So basically it stores the frames. It holds the local variables and partial results and also plays a part in a method in invocation and that will be return the answer. Now PCR means your program counter register. Now this PC actually contain the address of the Java virtual machine, because Java virtual machine become the instance. And whenever we are running the program, it will become as an instance. So we require the address of this Java virtual machine so that we can understand which are running currently executing. Okay. So likewise the program counter register actually make a lookup table for this one. Now native method stack. So this native method stack actually contain all the native methods that are necessary for our applications. Now, lastly, we have two important ones. One is the execution engine and second is your native libraries. So very first, what is the sense of this execution engine? So in this engine, basically contains the virtual processor, interpreter and the JIT compiler. So just in time compiler, in short form JIT. Okay, so by this interpreter, it will read the bytecode stream and then execute the instruction one by one because it is an interpret. Now this JIT actually it is used to improve the performance of this output. So JIT compiles the part of the bytecode that have similar functionality at the same time and hence it reduces the amount of time needed for the compilation. Likewise, this execution engine is actually perform their work. Now we have your Java native interface. So this is very important. Why? Because by this native interface we can think to communicate with other applications. Basically it is a framework. ये framework है. It is provide interface to communicate with the another application that is written in the another language like a C, like a C++, like a assembly. So Java native interface, that is the short form JNI, is a framework to stand the output to the console, or it will be the output to the interact with the operating system libraries. Now in the last of today lecture, we will understand the one summary of keyword that we will use in the Java programming. So here the new, as I am getting a new, because I know C, I know C++. So what are the new in Java we have to understand in next slide. That is the abstract asset. Boolean, you know very well, it will give a true and false. Break is a statement to use in the control statement. Byte is a data type. Case we will use in the switch case. Catch is the your exceptional, we will use in the exceptional handling. Care is a data type. Class is a data structure. Continue is a your control statement used in the your control statement like a for. Okay, so default we will use in the switch. Do is a your control statement we will use to make a for loop. Double is a data type. Else is also a control statement. Enum is a data structure we will use for what? For the non-numerical data. For example, let we have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We want to give a number, so we will make a enum. Then we have a extend. This actually we will use in the Java because this will be used for the your inheritance. So let also we have another final, and finally this we will understand in the next slide. Float is a data type. For we will use for the loop. If is a your branching statement. Implements, this we will also use in Java in the inheritance. Import, this is very similar to the your include. Okay, so in Java the word is import. Then instance of, this also we will understand in the next slide. Int is a your data type. Interface, this is a new word, so this we will learn in the next slide. Then long is a data type. Native is a new word. The new basically we will use to make a your instance. So instance के लिए we will use this word new. Then package, whenever we will make a set of your complete software, then we will use the package. Private, protected, public are not new, you know very well. These three are the your visibility that we will use for the access specifier. Return, the return data type. Short is a data type. Static is basically retain the word. So this is a storage class. This will be the storage class static. Then the strict FP, ये हम लोग समझेंगे. सुपर भी एक नया है इसमें. So this we will use for the inheritance. Switch is a branching statement. Synchronize, ये भी एक नया वर्ड है. This भी नया है, वैसे this हमने यूज किया है in the C++, but मैं आपको बताता हूँ. This throw and throws. Then transient, ये सब नए वर्ड हैं. Then try we will use for the your exceptional handling. Then void, no return value. Volatile is, while is nothing but your control statement. Okay, now we will see one by one. Now see, let we have the word abstract. Okay, so abstract means you have to understand the your, it is used to declare the abstract class. So as we will declare an abstract class, so we can provide the implementation of the interface. तो interface को implement करने के लिए we will use the abstract. Now assertion, assert is a nothing but is a statement. It is nothing but is a statement. Clear? is a statement. Now it ensure the correctness of assumptions. जो भी हम assumption लेंगे, that we will get a idea कि it will be correct or not, which have been done in the program. Now implementation basically used to implement interface. तो जब इंटरफेस को यूज करना है तो एब्स्ट्रैक्ट क्लास यूज करना है और उसके साथ इंप्लीमेंट भी यूज करना है. नाउ इंस्टेंस ऑफ बेसिकली इट इज यूज टू टेस्ट वेदर द ऑब्जेक्ट इज एन इंस्टेंस ऑफ स्पेसिफाइड क्लास या फिर इंप्लीमेंट टू द इंटरफेस. Native actually specify that the method is implemented in native code or not using JNI, that is the Java native interface. Now in the today's last slide we will understand little bit about the keywords. So here we have keyword like your strict FP. Strict FP basically it will be restrict the floating point calculation to ensure the portability. तो जब भी हम लोग portability की तरफ सोचते हैं तो we can use this strict floating point operations. Now synchronize. So when the synchronize is used, it will be the specify the critical sections in the multi-threading codes. Now this basically used to refer the current object. Whenever we want to access the current object, we will use this is the actually operator, है ना? So in the our method or in the our constructor. Now throw and throws. So throw basically used to throw the custom exception. तो ये एक्सेप्शन में यूज होगा हमारा. एक्सेप्शन में क्या यूज होगा? एक ट्राई होगा, एक कैच होगा एंड दिस थ्रो इज देयर. नाउ थ्रोज मीन्स दिस विल बी द यूर प्रोपोगेट विद द यूर, है ना? दिस एक्सेप्शन, दिस विल बी चेक्ड, द एक्सेप्शन कैन बी प्रोपोगेट विद दिस थ्रोज. Now lastly we have transient. The transient keyword actually we will use in the serialization. So if we will define data member as a transient, then it will be not be serialized. So like that, this all important keywords definition, and we will see one by one practical approach also. So thank you to all.